Okay, well, the sun's behind a cloud here for a minute. I'm going to walk into this giant shipping container, Connex or steel building, whichever you'd like to call it. So the whole operation here lately was to get air from that location there, because that is where my dedicated 230 volt, and I'm going to call it 230 volt because the American manufactured welders that I have refer to it always as 230 volt in their manuals. In the USA they call it 220, 230, 240, but I'm calling it 230, as our 15 or 20 amp wall outlets are referred to as 110, 115, and 120. Which one's right, I don't know, I don't care, but that's 230 today. So, the expensive and correct professional way to have done this would have been to run steel pipe all the way around to where I really wanted the air to be located, but I'm not doing that. Pricey and a lot of work, so I bought 100-foot Goodyear made in the USA rubber air hose, 3/8 line. It's on sale, $41 and tax, $41.99 and tax. So it more than gets me over there. We'll see how long it lasts. It does have a 1-year warranty on it. I think normally if they don't blow out in the first few months, because they tend to come loose right at the connectors, then they probably last a long time. I have a Goodyear made in the USA air hose hanging on there that's more than 15 years old. It's probably about 20 years old. Maybe yellow was a better color, I don't know. But they currently make air hose in black, red, yellow, and I don't know what it signifies, but I think it's depending on what conditions you use them in. So that hose runs up there, all the way around behind that door, left enough slack up here so that if the hose on the reel blows apart, I can unbolt it and set it on the ground without trying to fight to unhook it up there. Everybody seems to think, and this is a Harbor Freight made by Tiny Yellow Hands. The hoses on these don't last much more than a year before they blow loose, like right here or right there where it fastens on, but you are able to replace the hose. This is a 50-foot hose. Maybe by the time that happens, I'll decide whether I really needed a 50-foot hose. If it goes bad, I might put a 25 in the next time. But too much is better than not enough. So this needed to happen because my other 230-volt plug is over here in the opposite corner, and I have maneuvered a plug into this area so that I don't have to throw it over the top of the bench and everything. That is 3/8 cord, as is my extension cord. Let's see if we're going to be able to see that. Anyway, that says 3/8, and that's a 50-foot cord. So by plugging it into here, which is near my doors, I can get out there on the concrete quite a ways, or onto the gravel driveway, which looks like grass, but it is gravel, and not be burning big spots on the concrete. And all in all, this all happened, got pushed into action, at least because I now have a Miller plasma cutter, and it needs both air and 230 volt to power it at the same time. So the air compressor being a 230 volt and the plasma cutter being 230 volt meant I couldn't plug them in at the same place, so I was having to use this cord and drape it from there all the way along the wall and then bring it over to here, which only left me about 15 foot or so of excess cord by the time I got done. Kind of defeated the purpose of having the extension cord, kind of. So that is that. So all is happy until one of these hose blows. I've got it. It's set a little over 230 psi on it right now, and I turned the compressor off so I didn't have to hear it kick in the middle of the night if it did seep off. But this morning I still had 100 pounds pressure on it, so nothing's leaking too much, and we will see. The hose reel itself is made real well. I got up there and welded some steel I had together, a couple pieces, and welded them to the beam, so it's pretty securely mounted. But now I got a lot more reach. I can take the plasma cutter further outside, and I can, with hose end and 230 volt power, so I don't have to be burning things right up here on the driveway. Because yet to do is to use this big rusty piece of metal that I need to get cleaned up and repair the outside third on each side of my, I think that's 3/16 material maybe, on my bush hog, which needs it pretty badly. So plasma cutter will come in handy removing the old stuff and sizing this down. And probably use the MIG welder to stitch it back on there again. So that's that. Been practicing a little bit with the TIG welder. I know what I don't know. And with more YouTube tutorials and watching, I can see that I need to be a little more careful about adjusting amperage and the diameter of the rod I'm feeding as I go down in thickness, because I was trying to go over some really small material with too thick a rod. Consequently, you have to add so much heat to melt the rod that you overheat the material you're working on, and you can burn a hole in it very easily. So slowly figuring out what I'm doing wrong. Not too proud of anything to show you what I'm doing right. I don't know, I guess I got a couple pieces of stainless. Nah, just too ugly. Burning holes through it. Okay. This guy's trying to get sold this winter. Turn it into a later model bike that do a little longer trips cross country. And I got a few items here that are on Craigslist right now. This air compressor that is a dry compressor motor, loud as hell. There's a donut tire for the GMC Safari I had about 8 or 9 years ago. Never got run. Seems that wheels and tires aren't so easy to get rid of. But eventually it'll all go away. And pretty much all that stuff there is eBayable or Craigslistable. So I got it where I can get at it and I can roll it around on that. So more things on wheels. Also, I think I'm on my 5th 4-inch tube that I've installed now. A lot of these tires were tubeless. Such a pain in the butt every time I want to go use any of these things. There's 2 on there. There's 2 on my pressure washer, which is up in the shed. There's 2 on my oxyacetylene bottles. Of those, let's see, 6 of them, 5 of them were usually flat, so I have replaced 5 of them so far. And I did have to change the wheels on the cart here because these are plastic, but I think this is a cheapie. Very well might have been a Harbor Freight cart also. I got it on another welder deal. And then proceeded to put an extension on it, then weld a table on it, and out of some 1/4-inch material, and kept adding and adding and moving it around the shop. The center plastic just broke out of the wheel on the other one. So these are Toro snowblower wheels, a little heavier. We'll see how long they hold up. And that's what I did. All right, we're done.